Good morning, and this is my last of the series of What Has God Done for Me this year. A little backstory of why you probably see on my page that it went from speaking a lot about self-help to books to God. And that is because this year I went to my first praise and worship session, and initially I went there to support the person who was hosting the praise and worship, to give him some support. I thought it was a great thing that he was doing, bringing a community together with God in mind. That time when I started going to praise and worship, I guess you can say I was at a low place. I was a little bit distraught with my thoughts. I've been in the self-help and healing industry for almost a decade, and I am a certified life coach, but I also am an avid student and reader in all things mind, psychology, spirituality, and God. And this year, one of the most remarkable things happened when, at one particular session, I was called out and was told that they needed to pray for me. And I've never had that done before. It was an experience I never experienced before. And where two complete strangers prayed for me. And that was like, I don't have words for it. It was an experience I will never forget. And he was right. I would never be the same again. After that day, my relationship with God strengthened, because in that moment when these two complete strangers were praying over me, I felt God's presence. In so many ways, I felt like years. I heard other people saying that they can hear from God, they got divine downloads or direction from God, and I felt directionless. For me, it was an experience I would never, ever, ever forget in my entire life again. It has completely changed me. And it also, by going there every time they did have a praise and worship session, there's something that I learned, and I think it was more so about suffering. As a person who tends to fall sometimes into a depression state, I learned that we can learn to suffer well. And with prayer and deepening a relationship with God, we can get through the suffering. It is a trial. Life is not easy. There are hard times. We're going to have conflicts with people. We're going to change. Our personalities are going to change, and we're going to grow. And so are other people. And with change comes the psychological effect, and then comes the spiritual effect of those things. For me, it was like I learned how to suffer well, I guess. I learned to seek God's guidance first before anything else. I learned to honor him and worship him and love him regardless of my suffering, which I think before, with many of us, we think God is there to just grant us every single thing that we want, and we're supposed to be given this easy life. And it's not easy. And we can't deny the fact that we live in a world that there is suffering, there is grief, there's poverty. But how can we be better members of this kingdom? How can we be better people moving forward? And as a person who is now middle age, you can say, it becomes like I have to look forward, and how am I going to make an impact? Who am I going to serve? And what beliefs am I going to carry with me to my grave? There's that one praise and worship session completely changed my life. And there's so many things that has happened, good and bad, after that session that I had, where, like I mentioned, two people were praying over me, and I would forever be grateful for that experience. Talking about it and remembering it makes me tear up, because I can actually wholeheartedly feel God's presence. And it's remarkable, especially if you've been searching for so long. But this is it for my series, and enjoy your New Year's Eve and have a great time with your family. And if you're alone, I'll pray for you. Hope everything goes well for 2025. And let's not be too hard on ourselves, but also let's strengthen our relationship with God moving forward in 2025. All right, bye.